Hi everyone. The GTA Vice City Next-Gen Edition has just been released by the Revolution team, and is a fan-made remaster of the game. It's amazing that this was created by fans, as I would say this is better than the official GTA Definitive Edition that we got a few years ago, or as some prefer to call it, the Defective Edition. This fan-made version of the game uses the same engine as GTA 4, and so has the same physics. Because of this, Tommy can now swim, which is a great addition to the game, and for this reason alone makes it worth playing. Gone are the days where you would accidentally tip your car in the water and get wasted, losing all your weapons in the process. Tommy can now take cover just like you could in GTA 4, which is another thing I liked. I would say this game is the best looking version of Vice City by far. During sunsets, the game looks unreal, and really immerses you in the 80s Miami setting, a lot more than the Definitive Edition did in my opinion. Like GTA 4, you can now hear the radio playing even when you're outside a car, which is one of my favourite things about this version. Having all the original songs is an added bonus as well, as I did miss these in the Definitive Edition. Being able to freely aim your weapon while in a vehicle is also a nice addition. Now, there are a few things that I do miss from the Definitive Edition. I did like how the Definitive Edition brought the weapon wheel that we're all used to from GTA 5 into the game. Unfortunately, the weapon wheel isn't in the Next Gen Edition at the moment, but you never know, this could be something added in a future update or mod. I was a little frustrated that there were no health pickups at the hospital anymore, as I'm very used to picking these up when I've played the older versions of Vice City. I would have liked to see the adrenaline pickups included as well. I hope they could be added in a future update. I do feel the GTA 4 engine does make some missions slightly more difficult, such as the supply and demand mission, which became quite a bit more challenging than I remember it, as my boat would be constantly getting destroyed. I managed to get around this by exiting the front of the boat and using auto-aim to shoot the other boats. I did notice a couple of glitches. During the Demolition Man mission, I was able to just fly the helicopter through the walls of the building. There was no collision for some reason. I am actually glad this glitch happened, as I was having no luck in this mission and wasn't able to get past it even after a few attempts. I think that the GTA 4 physics do make it much more difficult to complete. I found it funny how if you were wanted during this mission, if a police officer came close to the RC helicopter, they would open the door as if it were a car, and you will get busted like it was a normal vehicle that you were inside of. I found it interesting how if you ran over many NPCs, your wanted level wouldn't really go above 1 star, whereas in the original, you would very quickly rack up a high wanted level by running NPCs over. Seeing the ragdoll physics in Vice City is something I did really like about this version. Crashing out of your car window while driving at high speeds is something I'm not used to in Vice City, but you do get the hang of it eventually. Seeing blood on the wall or on the floor after you crash is also a detail that I liked that wasn't in the original game. One of the things I miss the most from the original game are the police bribes. These were very convenient to use and made things a bit easier at times. These didn't exist in GTA 4, so I think that's why they aren't in this game, which is unfortunate, but it's not a major issue. I like how in this version it's much more difficult to flip your car over. One of the few things I dislike about the original game is how easy it is to destroy your car, simply by flipping it over. I think this is something that pretty much every GTA Vice City player has experienced at some point. Now, when you are in a car, you can take damage from bullets, which honestly does make the game a little bit more difficult. One of the things I liked about the original was how as soon as you got into a car, you are basically immune to damage, unless the car itself gets destroyed. It does take some getting used to, but does make the game more realistic. As Tommy can now swim, you are able to get to the other island from the beginning of the game, which is a really nice addition. The police and some NPCs in the game have dialogue from GTA 4 and not from the original Vice City game, which is slightly disappointing, but not a major issue. I do hope maybe a future update may be able to restore the original dialogue if possible. The game runs at a very smooth frame rate and is much smoother than the definitive edition, which I found to constantly have frame drops, which were irritating. The game's physics are also considerably better than the definitive edition. A lot of people would say that GTA 4 does have the most realistic physics of any GTA game, and this definitely does show here. The physics in the definitive edition don't compare, but they do make for some funny situations where NPCs can go flying across the street from a simple punch. I do wish you were able to adjust the height of the vehicle camera as you are in the definitive edition, as when you're in a big vehicle such as the BF Injection or the Landstalker, it becomes very difficult to see where you're going at times, unless you go into first person mode, which I'm not a big fan of. You can obviously tilt the right analog stick as well, but this is something I'd rather not constantly have to do. One thing that was unique to Vice City and no other GTA game was the $50 Good Citizen bonus you would get when you hit someone that was being chased by the police. Unfortunately, this is no longer available in the Next-Gen edition. In the original Vice City, Tommy was able to run faster than some cars, which was fun to do but was pretty unrealistic. Tommy could also fall from the tallest building and just roll over as if nothing happened. The Next-Gen edition fixes these and Tommy is no longer indestructible. I do like how Tommy can now jump over ledges and fences. It's just a lot more convenient. There are some intricate details I did miss from the original game. I liked this animation when Tommy would just jump onto a bike. As this game uses GTA 4 physics, this animation will no longer be possible. This is obviously a very minor thing, but as someone who's very used to the original PlayStation 2 version, I do miss these small details. On the other hand, the game now has much more realistic combat and shooting mechanics because of the new engine. Not being able to destroy vehicles with a tank like in the original game is something I do miss. I loved how in the original game any vehicle you came into contact with would just instantly explode. Something about the arcade-like physics of the PS2 version just feel nostalgic and feel more natural to me when it comes to Vice City. The new physics take a while to get used to, especially to the OG Vice City players, but once you do get used to it, the game becomes the best way to play Vice City. I look forward to see what additions we get with mods and future updates. I would like to give huge credit to the Revolution team for making a near masterpiece of a game, which I feel is overall better than the official remaster we got. This game is a milestone for community created games, and I would love to see if the same can be done for other GTA 3 era games. I would obviously like to see San Andreas get a next-gen edition, being my favourite GTA game, but I would really like to see Vice City Stories get a next-gen edition, as being able to play that game on PC would be amazing. Overall, the GTA Vice City next-gen edition is pretty incredible. I can only imagine the effort that was put into adapting the missions from the original game into the GTA 4 engine, and putting it into a playable state. This is the best remaster we have of this classic game, and is in my opinion the true definitive edition. What's your favourite thing about the Next Gen edition? Mine has to be Tommy being able to swim. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Goodbye.